What's up, you guys? ZEUS the DJ here with another video, and today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and a quick review of this guy. This is the Rane One DJ controller. Now, I know I already have this unboxed in front of me and it's laid out and pretty much ready to go. I mean, obviously it's not plugged in or anything like that because I had to do some close-up shots for this video for you guys, but I basically wanted to do a quick unboxing experience of this controller, just so you guys have an idea of how it comes, the unboxing experience. You know, you guys want to share that joy with me when I first received this over a week ago. But for the most part, I'm gonna go ahead and let that play while I talk about the controller overall and my experience with this so far. So just to give you a history about myself while the unboxing video plays, basically I started mixing late 97, early 98. 98 is the year that I choose as my official year of starting to DJ. Back then, I had a turntable, a mixer, and it was like a pyramid 19-inch mixer. And the turntable I had was a Technics SLD2 that had like a little scroll wheel pitch adjuster that only went, I think, 6%. Paired with a 19-inch pyramid mixer that my aunt had bought me from a yard sale, and a dual cassette tape deck. And that's basically how I learned how to mix, playing a tape and then learning how to beat match with the Technics SLD2. So for the most part, that was my early years. After that, got into like actual buying turntables and stuff like that. So I've always been a turntable guy. So controllers for me, CDJs for me were never really realistic. I've used a couple in the past. I think a Pioneer DDJ 1000 or something like that. I don't remember specifically the model it was that I used, but I got to showcase some of my mixing skills at the NAMM show. I think it was back in like 2017, 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Omez Lighting had me on their stage and stuff like that. So I got to mix with their controller, and that was my very first time using a controller. And luckily it was pretty easy to use. I just recently bought a Pioneer SB3 controller, which for me was okay. Pretty much retired from DJing, and I wanted something because I sold my equipment like 2 years ago, and then over the last 2 years I haven't really had anything other than my music and just mixing around in Serato unplugged, basically just mixing with the mouse and keyboards. Yeah, that got kind of boring. So for me, I picked up the Pioneer SB3 and I was like, you know what, let me just have some kind of a controller at least so I can fuck around with here and like in my bedroom. Messed with that for a couple of days, and I was like, you know what, I saw that the Rane One had just released, placed an order. I saw it available on Amazon. They had like 9 available, and that's where I got this from. So affiliate link will be in the description below, so make sure to go ahead and check that out. Small kickback to me, which will help fund future videos. Obviously, no extra cost to you guys. I just get like a very small percentage if you click on that link. Messed around with the SB3 for a couple days. Ordered this guy because it was sold out and also not even available yet on most sites. A lot of websites basically didn't have it. They were on pre-order or back order. Some were on pre-order, some were on back order, but luckily on Amazon they had 9 available and I purchased 1. Got it a couple days later, unboxed it, as you can see now. I've been messing around with this now for the past week and a half, and I gotta say, I love it. The mixer here on the Rane One is reminiscent of the 62 that I used back in like 2012 or whatever. The effects are pretty cool. They are post fader. They are the effects that are in Serato, so it's not built into the actual mixer, but that's obviously to help keep the cost down. The pads here, you know, your hot cue, your save loop, your roll, your sampler, your slicer. Haven't really used the slicer much. I've used the sampler that allows you to get into your sample bank, and then you can load a sample from whichever samples that you have in there. Roll, I haven't really used much. Save loop, that's pretty helpful. So if I have any save loops in there, I can go ahead and activate it that way. Hot cue, obviously, you know, your cue points, and you have 8 of them. You have a sync button, which I never use. Shift button, to be honest, I have no idea what the hell that's for. And then you have your slip motor on and off, and then that's basically, you know, to turn your motor on or off. And then you could kind of use the platter as a CDJ. And then you have your sensor or reverse buttons on each of your decks, so that way if there's a curse word or whatever, you can just, you know, reverse it, kind of bleep it out. You also have a scroll and load little turn knob here that allows you to scroll through the your library, and then you just press to load. And then you can also activate instant doubles. So it doesn't matter where you are scrolling through the library, if you just double tap it, you'll automatically load in the exact same song as the other deck is playing. So that's pretty dope. I don't know if that's been a feature for very long, but like I said, I've kind of been out of it for a while. I don't have any plans with getting back into DJing, especially because of the pandemic that's going on right now. I don't foresee that being in the cards for me in the near future, because I don't have a laptop, first of all. I sold my MacBook Pro. I sold that to buy a gaming laptop, and then sold that so I can build my own gaming PC. And if you can see behind me, I have all my PC components and stuff. Newest addition is my Gigabyte GeForce RTX 3070 graphics card on that. But you guys aren't here for that. You guys are here for this. So hopefully that little bit of knowledge kind of gives you guys an idea of where it is that I'm coming from as a DJ or whatever. The faders on the Rane mixers have always been top notch, basically top class for any mixer that I've ever used, other than the Vestex mixers. I also had a Pioneer DJM T1, which I had did a review or video for on my old YouTube channel, which I got locked out of. I had did the video for that on how to MIDI map it with Serato Scratch Live, because that mixer was actually made for Tractor Scratch, if I'm not mistaken. I love this thing. It's pretty dope. In the low torque setting, these are perfect. High torque setting, I mean, even more torque. The fader on this is buttery smooth. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It is tension adjustable, which I have not messed with. I just used it straight out of the box. I like it. You can configure the crossfader also within Serato DJ Pro, which this comes with, so you can, you know, dial it down to exactly how you want. And then you also have your crossfade contour knobs in the front for your up faders, and as well as your crossfader. And then you have your reverse switch and all that stuff. Mic lines 1 and 2. Input number 2 is for auxiliary as well. You have your Q mix. You could either Q with the Q buttons, or you can put it onto PGM, which allows you to basically mix in your headphones with the crossfader and stuff. So if you're practicing late at night when your parents are sleeping, or if your wife is sleeping or whatever, you won't disturb anybody. You have the 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch headphone jacks, and then you have your volume level right here. You got a good amount of outputs, and you even have dual USB inputs. So if you were using this at a party or at an event or whatever, and you had another buddy DJ who was also there who wanted to take over, like say you needed a bathroom break, or maybe you guys are just switching off, whatever, go ahead and switch your line inputs to USB-A or USB-B on deck 1 and deck 2. You also have your line inputs, so you can connect other external either CDJs or turntables, whatever. And then you have your phono inputs, your line inputs, and then you have your ground post out here. Been out of the game for like the past 2.5 years or whatever. And even before then, Serato Pro or Serato DJ, whatever the fuck it's called now, you didn't have to subscribe to that shit. And that kind of tripped me out, because when I had the Pioneer SB3, it came with Serato Lite, and I opened that up and I was messing around with that. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? So I downloaded Serato DJ Pro, and you get to use that for free for like 15 days or something like that. Then you got to subscribe or some bullshit like that. I remember back in the day when I had the Rane SL1, I had the license for that, so I was able to download Serato Scratch Live onto my laptop, and then I could just, you know, go from club to club, whatever, and I'd have the full version of Serato Scratch Live. Then it moved to like Serato DJ or whatever the fuck, I don't know. But overall, this controller is pretty dope. If you guys found this video helpful or useful in any way, as always, make sure to click that like button down below. Also, make sure to subscribe. Got some more videos coming through. Check out my Twitch channel. I do some live streaming of my mixes on there. So if you guys want to see any of those mixes or whatever, obviously I can't do them here on YouTube because of copyright stuff like that. I don't want to get a strike because that's happened to me before, not from DJing, but just, you know, just regular streaming video games and shit, and I couldn't stream for 90 days, which was a pain in the ass. So check me out on Twitch, link for that will be down below. Affiliate link for this will be down below. Like I said, thank you guys for watching. Until next time, peace.